What's up, everyone? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, and this is your home for the 2020 World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Pitchers and catchers reporting today around baseball, but I've got a conversation that I think is fun that the MLB Network had last night, which is who is the best player in baseball right now? Now, this might seem like an obvious question. Mike Trout seems to be the consensus among the average baseball fan, but you might be surprised to hear that on 2 of 4 lists, Mike Trout was not the number 1 player. Now, this is according to Dan O'Dowd, Mark Feinsand, Joel Sherman, and Brian Kenny. Those 4 all submitted top 10 players in Major League Baseball. O'Dowd and Kenny both had Trout number 1, Feinsand had Trout number 2, and Joel Sherman, if you'll believe it or not, actually had Trout number 3. Now, here's what is interesting. Sherman and Feinsand had Mookie Betts as the best player in baseball. So Dodger fans, let me ask you, is Mookie Betts the best player in baseball? I know it's easy to be biased. I know it's easy to love it. And let's be honest, Betts is number 2 on any list he's not number 1 on. So he actually grades out the highest of any player in baseball as far as that's concerned. But this is a fascinating conversation to me because we've talked about it here. Mookie Betts is an unbelievable baseball player, and he impacts the game in ways that most other players don't. And I think that the key idea, the number 1 way we're talking about there, is base running. How do you evaluate base running? I'm sure there are metrics. They're hard. Defensive metrics are bad enough. Base running metrics, I can only imagine. But Mookie Betts as a base runner is absolutely elite. And so if you're going to go Mookie Betts over Mike Trout, you might say defensively, we're talking about 2 equal players. Maybe Mookie Betts gets the edge there. It's hard to argue that Trout isn't a better hitter based on track record and statistics. But base running, I think there's probably a gap. As good of a base runner and as good of an athlete as Mike Trout is, something to consider there. So again, Feinsand and Sherman both have Mookie Betts as the number 1 player in baseball. Now you might be wondering, are any other Dodgers on this list? Well, Cody Bellinger checks in at number 10 on Feinsand's list, and then we get to Joel Sherman's list, okay? Now, Joel Sherman is a baseball writer. Joel Sherman, I have no doubt, loves the game, follows it more closely than just about everybody, but his list, in my opinion, is absolutely insane. Let me read it to you. Mookie Betts, number 1. Juan Soto, number 2. Mike Trout, number 3. Okay, how in the world is Mike Trout, who might be the greatest baseball player ever, number 3 on your list? Well, you go down the list. He's got Tatis, DeGrom, Cole, Lindor, Freeman. No issues there. Bellinger at number 9. And how about this? Shout out to our guy, Daniel Starkin. Corey Seager, the number 10 player in all of baseball. Look, I love Cody Bellinger. I love Corey Seager. I'm not saying they don't belong anywhere near this list. I'm just saying I'm not sure they show up on my top 10. But there you go. According to Joel Sherman, the Dodgers have 3 of the top 10 players in all of baseball. That doesn't even include their pitching staff, which is the best in baseball. And so if you want to go on and talk about the Padres and the Dodgers and how close the gap is, you can look at a list like that and consider it for yourself. So what do you guys think? I mean, as much as we love Mookie Betts, are we willing to say that Mookie Betts is a better baseball player than Mike Trout? That's the question I want to ask you. Also, is Cody Bellinger, is Corey Seager, are both of those guys top 10 players in baseball? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Again, pitchers and catchers reporting this week all around baseball. And so we've got lots of news, lots of exciting stuff that we'll have coming the rest of the week. So if you're not already subscribed here to the Dodger Blue YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring the notification bell so that as the season starts, you get the information as quickly as possible. Check out DodgerBlue.com, DodgerBlue1958 everywhere on social media. You can follow me at Twitter at Jeff Spiegel. As always, we appreciate you watching. This is your home for the 2020 World Series champions. Vince Scully, take it away.
The best team holding a trophy high in the air. The Los Angeles Dodgers, champions of the baseball world.